So, new posts on Orangemushroom. Shout out to Max. Hit him up. Support him on Patreon. All that good shit. Discussion board developer comments from February 24th. Very recent, hot off the presses from yesterday. And a Maple notice board. So new topics, I'm assuming, and new stuff, new feedback from the devs in Korea. Previous discussion board topic of overall convenience improvements has ended, and the developers have shared their thoughts on what players talked about. In addition, related to this post, they updated the Maple notice board, which I haven't really mentioned before, but I'll talk about it after developer comments. That's Max saying I, not me. Hello, this is MapleStory. We'd like to thank all the players who actively participated in a discussion on the topic of overall convenience improvements from December 1st to February 3rd, 2022. As a whole 4-month period of time. Wait, 3 months. December, January, February. 3 months. Okay, I can still count. Kind of. We deeply sympathize with the many inconveniences we have piled up in MapleStory over a long time. And if you ever actually list those, it would be thousands, right? And at the same time, we would like to express our gratitude once again for the players who have enjoyed MapleStory, even in this situation. Yes, and that's why we get potential badges. Okay. We have carefully checked the valuable opinions provided by players to create a more pleasant MapleStory gameplay environment. As a result of reviewing our current internal development status and priorities from various angles, of course, they're using a lot of development power that's going towards the reworking of all the Cygnus knives right now. We have confirmed 36 improvements from the suggestions made through the discussion board. Detailed information on these items will be updated and continuously managed on the Maple notice board so that you will be able to easily understand the entire process until they're actually reflected in the game. Most of the items are being worked on with the goal of being completed within the first half of 2022. Okay, cool. And currently we have only announced an approximate schedule, but when specific improvement schedules are confirmed based on our actual development status, we will inform you through the Maple notice board. In the future, we'll try our best to Maple playing MapleStory more enjoyable. Our best to try making playing MapleStory more enjoyable and comfortable for our players. And something went wrong with that sentence. Top 10 opinions. Opinions about overall convenience improvements. Final version collecting desired items related to overall convenience improvements. Collecting and presenting opinions for overall convenience improvements. Pros. There were more satisfied opinions as there were a variety of players who collected and organized convenience improvements. This is always a little bit weird to read. The pet life and transparent equipment system are outdated systems. The pet life system and the system of buying separate transparent equipment are outdated and need to be improved. Positive opinions about the inconvenience of not being able to immediately revive pets even if their pet life ended. Additional opinions that it would be good to improve the durations due to limited login time. Since it's a cash item that can be maintained enough, even with mileage, there isn't room for improvement. I guess in KMS it's a little bit bigger of a deal if you want to use transparent stuff. You're actually always losing damage, right? Because there's a lot of sets in KMS that have stats on them. That's why everyone in all the boss fights typically looks the same, because they wear the best in slot cash up gear with the best stats on them. Boss matching UI needs to be added, so that's something that they're working on, right? System needs to be improved on boss matching or forming parties, where you can check various users' information or match together with users of similar stats. Pros, positive opinions because there needs to be a way to check users' information before or after joining a party. Cons, negative opinions that this can be covered using things like super megaphones. Yeah, but you don't want to have people, you don't want to make people pay to find people in the game, right? I think that should be an in-game feature. Do you think MapleStory is like allergic to using something like a gear score? Surely they could do something and make a gear score so that people could just have some kind of idea if someone is going to be, how strong someone is going to be. Because as soon as you have gear scores, that's going to make a whole lot of stuff a bit more transparent, no? I guess, yeah. Maybe Star Force is kind of trying to be that. A little bit. MapleStory 2 had that. I feel like MapleStory 2 did a lot of things that would have been a cool update for MapleStory 1 to use, but it's like, oh, MapleStory 2 didn't work out. But then they seem allergic to try to take things from MapleStory 2 that are really cool and move them into MapleStory 1. Stacking consumable item durations, ability presets, channel expansions, backpack. Ability presets! Oh my god. Guys, they mentioned it. Improve consumable items so that when they are used, the durations are extended instead of refreshed. Oh, we've talked about that as well. So that then when you crash, you get and you lose your map, you get to lose even more. Add ability presets, dynamic channel expansions based on specific times, and the reboot server VACPAT sealing system. Pros, additional opinions that it would be good to add a feature to combine experience coupons. Okay, well, that's limited. That's the only thing they responded to as the team, not ability presets. Come on, man, give us those ability presets, baby. Come on, that's inner ability, by the way. Star Force system improvement plan. Improve the Star Force system so that there are no drops or booms. Okay, but you know that if there's going to be a system where there are no drops or booms, that it's just going to cost you an insane amount for every single attempt, right? To maintain the same balance that there is now. Maybe that the unenhanced items can be cycled and users who have not enhanced their items because they're afraid of booming can also use the system. I mean, that's going to change for reboot upgrading so much. I can see from a non-reboot perspective though. Even at 10x the cost, I would take it on reboot. For regular, just remove drops. I think the thing for I don't know how much I don't know about 10x, but definitely a steep increase would still be good. I mean, you could just run it through the calculator and see what would be roughly equivalent, right? The option for either would be... Well, that's kind of what I talked about, but... Like, I thought it would be cool if you could basically just set it to automatic and it would just go. You'd just say like, hey, I want to pay X amount of money. I want to safeguard it. I want to get it from 12 to 16. And you just click it and it would just, boom, it would just go and take X amount of money off. The way that they've been kind of doing that is by instead just selling Star Force scrolls, right? Which is kind of that. But it doesn't have quite the same vibe to it, I guess. Cons concerns that the situation will occur where instead the number of users who try to enhance will decrease and the number of users selling their items will increase. If there are no drops or booms, concerns that the situation will occur where instead the number of users who try to enhance will decrease and the number of users selling their items will increase. Well, sure, but so they're thinking that the current... Well, no. Isn't that assuming that more people will Star Force? That's a weird... Yeah, they would be afraid of inflation, but giving more people access to upgrading faster. I don't know, we'll see. Safeguarding being 3x for 17 to 18, 4x for 18 to 19, 5x. Yeah, something like that. I don't know about safeguarding from 15 to 22 though. That would be spooky. Big spook. Need to find a use for back. Yeah, well, my major gripe with all of this is if they say, oh, you can technically just safeguard all the way up to 22. Oh, that means you only need one piece ever. That means we can just drop the actual drop rate of the equips even lower, because once you have one, you're good forever. No, please, because then we'll never see. Some accounts will just never see any upgrades in reboot. So let's not do that too much. And this seems specifically a non-reboot thing. Remove the constant mastery drop at profession skills craft. Oh yeah, we talked about this, right? It would be better to alleviate the condition of execution. Negative opinions that it would be better to improve it in another way, since everyone could reach Craftsman Meister rank if the penalty was removed. Well, yeah, I mean, everyone can still do it now as well. You still need to actively create a lot of stuff. I know. I don't know if these translations from Max... I remember last time we read this thing as well with like the team feedback, and a lot of the things were kind of weird. I don't know if they just word things very weirdly or if Max has like trouble getting to the essence of what they're saying, but they seem to word the team feedback very, very strangely. Yeah. Please release the dummy data items, hairs, and faces. The dummy data's items, hairs, and faces. Do they mean NPCs or what? Mannequins? Yeah. They just want to see the looks, yeah. Overall suggestions from various opinions, including convenience. Okay, that's the vaguest thing I've ever heard in my life. Opinions about improvement. Directions from various opinions related to convenience present along with example images. Suggestion means that it would be better if entry limits were consumed based on the entry time for things like bosses and Monster Park. Yeah, I think for all bosses, if you enter before reset, then your clear should always count for before reset. The whole thing where you enter like 15 minutes before reset and then you have a 16-minute run and it counts for the next day because it's like 3 seconds after reset. That shit's such bullshit, man. If you can get in before reset, it counts for your clear before reset. It's just too silly. Mom actually played MapleStory? Yup. And she probably has a higher level character and bigger legion than you because she puts a lot of time. Exclamation mark mom in the chat. Convenience of Monster Life needs to be improved. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Like a storage box. It's probably not mentioned, but Reboot needs some kind of equip storage. That's definitely a thing that needs to get in there, but nothing will get in there for Reboot, I don't think. Many opinions agree with the overall opinions about the inconvenience of Monster Life. Opinions that rapid alleviation is not necessary, since there are many existing players who have grown their Monster Life already with the inconveniences of the current presented opinions. I can kind of see that, but I don't know if it's ever like, oh, we should alleviate inconveniences. Oh, it's not necessary because people have been able to do it despite the inconveniences. That's never like good enough of a reason, right? Because just because people have, you know, just because people have been like, okay, well, it's terrible, but I still get something in the end, so I guess I'll do it. Fuck me, I guess. That doesn't mean that therefore that's not something that can be optimized. It's a little, that's a little weak, I think. That triggers you? Yeah. It's just kind of like, well, we know it's garbage, but, you know, some people did it despite it being garbage. So, you know, how bad could it really be, you know? Boss-related convenience improvements. Opinions about convenience such as boss-related HP display, bind resistance guides, and reward maps. Opinions that agree that the improvements to make re-entry limits pre-quests faster. Yes, you know the other thing that they need to do here with this play? The debuffs of the boss need to not be like on top of the boss and when there's like 16 of them like fighting to see who gets to show up and not even knowing if your debuff as a character is actually still on there because you have to wait like 3 rotations of 15 skills because there happens to be a Cadena and a Kana in the same party who each have 25 debuffs. You just put the debuffs on the top left of the screen right underneath the HP bar and you just see the whole list. And then they start blinking if they're about to run out. And all you have to do is just recognize which 2 are yours and then just reapply them when they're starting to blink. And that's it. And they're not going to be on the screen and moving around. Now that's going to bring a little bit of a downside that you won't be able to see the debuffs on the monster where it's going to spawn. Like in Vellum, you won't see where it's going to be. But I think that's... right now, the fact that we can like see the debuffs floating in the air when the boss is like underground and shit... yeah, that's gonna be... we're gonna lose a little bit of utility there, but I think that's gonna be worth it overall. Justice for Kane's Death Blessing debuff. Yeah, below HP. That would be cool. But I don't think that that's what they're really mentioning here. They're talking about improvements in re-entry limits and pre-quests. The re-entry limit and the 30-minute in-between... like, it kind of makes sense, but this is like the stupidest fix that they did for the system that was a problem, right? I literally had to stop using Keen damage skin because of that. Yeah. Toxin and Vellum is so cheesy. It did any DOT, you can like see where he's gonna pop up, yeah. Maple Satori. This is MapleStory. And then Arim Pan. Wait, Wait, if this is in the letter... No, that's only if it's the end of a syllable... No, at the end of a word. Then it's an S sometimes, right? Is it Arimbon? Arimban? MapleStory? No, it's MapleStory. MapleStory. That's how it is. Okay. Notice board is a page that MapleStory team recently added. It's quite similar to the customer conference suggestions notice board, which they had earlier, and is basically the replacement which will be used at all times. Let's see what that looks like. This page shows the things that they have received suggestions for or have been thinking about, and when they are planning to make changes related to them. It includes the information, dates, when there are updates on items, and when they are implemented or planned to be implemented in game. It's loading. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff since it includes things from the customer conference last year, as well as things they have talked about since then, like at the Destiny Live talk. I'm not going to cover everything. There's a lot of it, but it will include stuff recently added together. Developer comments above. Note that something being on the list doesn't mean it will 100% be added into the game as is. It's just things they are looking into, and there might be tweaks or changes based on the developer's wishes. The things below are related to user convenience and are planned to be improved within the first half of 2022. So they've got like a whole list with descriptions and everything. But he's starting at 116. Oh, because a lot of these things have already been implemented. Yo. It's a lot of stuff, huh? Jeebus. You guys can look at that if you want to. Add a core master feature into the vMatrix UI. Yes! Or just add a node master in every town and not in like some of them. But I feel, well, I think the vMatrix, the two vMatrix screens just need to be wrapped in one. Just add all the options in one of them. Because for a new person, it's like, dude, where's the button? I swear there was a button here. But then one time they talked to a node master, and the other time they opened up the vMatrix. But the screens look just similar enough to get confused, but are dissimilar enough to get even more confused. Excuse me. Release 40 slot recipe and scroll bags. I mean, sure. Spend a maximum number of personality trait items that can be stacked in one inventory slot. Which items do you guys think need to be stacked higher than currently are? I think the Magnus coins. Why the fuck are those stacked at 3k and all the other ones are basically 10k? Power elixirs, yes, power elixirs should stack up to 10k as well. Agreed. Premium hair waxes? Yeah, that would be part of this. Expand the maximum number of the seed medals of honor that can be stacked into one inventory slot. Add the Legion coin shop NPC to the quick move. Sure. Improve it so that you can open the Legion UI in Meisterville Monster Park. You should be able to open the Legion UI everywhere. In every single map, you should be able to open it. And when you try to click go there, I guess you can't go from certain locations. That would make sense. But you should still be able to open the UI and check the UI. All coin items at 10k? Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's transfer in the account the trait items. Let's transfer the trait items within account. Yeah, I don't think that that's a bad idea either. 30 HP pots needs to be 99k stacks. All those items should be 10k and mana crystals should be 999k. Yeah, the mana crystals. Yeah, give us a big stack of those. Okay, we also get 3 different types of power elixirs or occult cubes. Wait, you only have 3 types? I'm pretty sure if I would check with my power elixirs on my Demon Avenger, I think I have 5 or 6 types of untradeable power elixirs. It's unreal how many different types, and none of it stacks with each other. You're like, why do you do this to us? Yeah, no, 100% feel you on that one. Improve the visibility of the EXP bar number display by adding commas. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Because now it's like 14 trillion. Change the selection order when entering the other world's altar statue. Choosing the difficulty when entering Arcarium. In general, just unifying for all bosses that it's just easy, normal, hard. Like for Magnus, hard is the top one. And then for... Is it for all the other bosses, normal is the top one? Like, why is it the other way around there? It just... It's annoying. Add the feature to display percentage information on the HP bar. Okay. Add reward phases to main boss monsters. Reward? Oh, I read phase rewards. I was like, wait, an extra reward for getting through phase 1 and for phase 2? No. Reward phases to the main bosses. So basically to give everything a reward chest. That's probably, yeah, they should probably do that for everything. So everyone can just go full damage gear, nuke the boss, and then open the boxes. Yeah. I mean, at this point, you know, I would be okay with them not doing it as well. But then they would just have to come out and bring a statement and like, hey, we think for these bosses that they should be an added difficulty. The most important drops aren't, you know, multiplied by drop anyway, so it's not that important for those. And for the people who want to, they can, but like that's on them and it's extra difficulty. If they said that, I would be okay with it too. But we would have to know 100% how drop actually works and how it's multiplied, because that shit is just one black hole for us anyway, or black box. Add a reward. Yeah, okay. Remove the Rin dialogue window pop-up after defeating Arcarium. God, yes, please, every single time. Remove Big Headward, Dr. Plastic Roy in the quick move. I mean, I guess they don't need to be there, right? You just double-click your coupon in your inventory and then you get them anyway. Like how a revamp for Arcarium isn't on there. Screen crack spam. You have no... yeah, like redoing how Arc works at all. Bringing Arc into the 21st century is probably a good idea, so yeah. When you register someone in your blacklist, apply it based on a Maple ID and to all of your characters in your account. Oh, that's another thing. When you expand your buddy list, why is your buddy list only getting expanded on one character when you can add ID buddies? What the fuck is that? Like, all of my characters have like 105 out of 50 slots right now. It's... Why is that a thing? I guess nobody adds buddies anymore, right? Got him. Simplify the process of using the Ursus shop. Yeah, it's kind of annoying now. Expand the types of items that can be placed in the crafting material bag. Ooh, I was actually talking about this, right? Because I think that the... so now it's the item crystal and the powders that can go in there. But I think things like Philosopher's Stones and the spell essences and the Twisted Times, I think like those kind of items should be able to go in there as well. Discord friend list? Yeah, we should use that one. Synchronize with Discord. Add a user confirmation process when creating characters and deciding on a nickname. Okay. Change the daily gift rewards to be movable to other characters within the same world. Yeah, because a lot of time I'm like, oh, I don't want to pick it up here. I want to pick it up there. And then I forget to pick it up there. You should be able to just pick it up, just put it in storage and then grab it, yeah. There's a crafting material bank. Well, so there isn't really. We have a crafting material bag. You can buy it now, but the only thing you can put in there is the item crystals and is the powders. That's it. Show the bounty hunter entry limit from the first time you enter them. Sure, I guess. Expand the maximum amount of Waru you can hold a monster alive. Change the dark cutscene when dismissing monsters and monster alive. Improve the Haven weekly quest process. Unify the completion NPCs. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Not that you have to go find whatever NPC has whatever quest for you. I mean, it did the same thing with the completion NPCs for the dailies in Morass, right? That everything is just... that Jean has just all of it. When registering items in the auction house, set the longer registration time as the default value. Improve it so that the items acquired from things like Monster Park and Monster Collection are movable to other characters within the same world. Yeah, I agree with that. Alleviate the difficulty of getting Mugong Monster Collection. Sure. Simplify the process of entering certain bosses like Arc, Pink Bean, and Hilla. It should always take you right to the final door, where you can just immediately pick the difficulty and go in, kind of thing. Change Arcane River Grandis daily quest so that they can be completed through the light bulb. Sure, yeah, I don't mind that much, but I'm sure that'll help out a little bit. Add the feature to bulk take care of monsters in Monster Life. Don't have anything to do with that. Change the cutscene when opening Rudibus sealed boxes. I mean, I would say add anything of value to the Rudibus shop. You know, I would dare to throw that one out there. Dark World 3 did that as well. Yeah, exactly. Powders are literally useless. I'm still I'm not holding my breath, but I'm still waiting for some kind of crafting revamp where powders will actually do something. I have default slots, so that's still a big save. The entire bag is full of mining and herb giant. Yeah. Well, you can buy the 40 slot bags now, right? Master Bear, did you buy some of those? Root boots? Yeah, except for root boots are kind of nice, but that's about it. It's very limited in use now because Absolab doesn't really go past 17. How much are they? 50 mil each for 20 slot bags. It's pretty useful. You can have 5 total bags between the crafting materials and then the herb bags and the mineral bags. You can have 5 total in your inventory. Crafting revamp, you can snort your powders and receive stat buffs. Hey, you kids want some purple powders? Oh yeah, oof. Then you definitely get the boss outline, but you just see it, you just reverberate. Total bank is 400 mil? Yeah, don't go too hard then. We're gonna snort that white powder. Snorting copia. Add the feature to instantly dismiss monsters after combining them in Monster Life. Remove the sound when certain field monsters appear, like in Labyrinth and Moonbridge. Change Monster Park coins to be shared within the world. Sure. Improve the item lock process. Yeah, you probably should be able to just like right click an item lock and then it just should cost you some mezzos and then done, not have to like go in there. Add the feature to turn titles and medals appearances on or off. Yeah, in boss fights that can actually make a difference. Improve the Star Force destruction protection setting process, please. Yes. Change it so that all status effects are instantly removed after defeating Pink Bean. Yeah, that's probably also a good thing. Ran hard-loaded solo yesterday, didn't seem too hard. Also feel hard Damien. Any advice on not being a Pepega? I mean, for hard Damien, it's mainly just you need a lot of damage, right? Like get the swords in the corner and cleanse when you're at 5+ probably. But it's mainly just do a lot of damage. Cernium Fams? No, this is from Korea. Korea doesn't even have any familiars. That system doesn't exist there. So nothing familiar oriented is ever going to make it to a list like this. This is something that we have to talk to GMS about, to Nexon America and to MapleStory devs for NA. Some of these seem so minor that I would honestly prefer Nexon ignore them just so they don't waste time to fix them. I think you always have some people in your team working on things that are just like small fixes, and then some people dedicated to doing bigger things. I don't know if you necessarily throw everyone at like the huge things, if the huge things are gonna really roll out that much faster, versus if there's like 5 or 10 things that annoy a significant amount of people and you can alleviate them like within a month, you can find a fix for that. I think it's good to have some small victories as well, but I understand what you're talking about in general. But I think you want to make some small changes, some mid-sized changes and some big changes, and you want to make progress on all of these at once. Doomed, yeah. Don't die, do damage. Easy clap. These changes are possible, likely due to all the new hires Korea got this year as well. We need full team working on major patches 24/7 now. Thank God. Star Force Destruction, yeah. Changes so that all status effects are, yeah. And add the feature to bulk sell intense power crystals. Yeah, so you just like throw the ones away that you're not gonna sell, like if you do normal Root Abyss or some shit, and then you just do like click all, boom, get a bill. I mean, I guess, yeah. Right now that would be cool. What the fuck, dude? Jesus. What is that comment? Chill. So I think this is mainly like a list of stuff that they're like, okay, these are definitely doable, and these are not anything crazy that we have to get like top down. You know, we don't have to get permission from the CEO of like, would this be, you know, this is just like, yeah, just fix this small thing, boom. And yeah, like I said, I think if they keep having a healthy basis of these are very structural big problems that we're looking at and that we're trying to address, these are some small things we're going to roll out as soon as possible to just give quality of life to everyone. Because, and again, these are not things that are necessarily have to be changed. If the community says these things are important enough for us to change, to let you know that we would like them have them changed, then that's what they'll do, you know? Like, if it doesn't have a huge impact on the game, but people feel strongly enough about them, change them, you know? What's the max total percentage drop rate you can get on your items in your stat window? Well, from your equips, the total is 200%. So 10 lines of 20% is the max. The max total, there's a total amount that you probably can get by if you stack absolutely everything that we have access to, but there's not like a cap in GMS. KMS has a hard cap of plus 300%, so like up to total 400% drop rate, but GMS doesn't have that. A 70 iframes not enough. Wait, what are you talking about? Dual. I know, wasn't there like a fishing belt or something, Why Sereni, that had like 3% drop rate or something? That probably went into the 200% pile though, right? But yeah, so this is just a update for KMS, but it seems like they're still keeping their options open. So this is not what I thought initially, that they would have like some major topics again to talk about. Overall convenience, yeah, so it's just like overall convenience. I wonder if they're gonna have some specific topics, because that's what they were doing previously, right? They were doing like 2 or 3 topics at a time, and then people could just throw all of their suggestions for those specific topics into the message board, and then they would cluster them together and then go from there. But I'm guessing that they don't really want huge things to work on now, on top of all of the on top of all of the Cygnus remake that they're doing, because that's probably a lot of work. Like they said for the Explorer remake, that was essentially the same amount of work as, was it 4 or 5 completely new characters or new classes? So yeah, I imagine even the Cygnus remake is going to be the equivalent of roughly 2 new classes completely as well. So back to watching 6 ads again. Wait, I didn't even click ads. Well, let me click them then, so that everyone else can watch them together. There you go. Boom. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think some of these definitely translate very well to things that we would also like to see changed. And some things are just weird, like why are these things still here in 2022? That's very strange. But yeah, just a short update there, I guess, for you guys. All right. See you in the next one. Bye.